Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. Happy Saturday to all of you guys. I hope you're getting your chores done, enjoying some leisurely weekend activities. And we have a pretty surprising Instagram post by Demi Burnett talking about her diagnosis of having autism. All right, so we're going to get into this conversation. Very fascinating, very brave of her to share this. And I'm going to read her status and share some of the information she's providing. Demi Not Lovato's, her Instagram account says, maybe a trigger warning, I don't know, but heads up. I did a psychological evaluation and I'm autistic. This is a huge stigma when it comes to autism. I encourage you to be open-minded and accepting. Swipe for some memes that might be helpful when dealing with an autistic person. All I want is to have a better quality of life. I will share more of my story of my evaluation and how I got to this point and all of my pain and struggles along the way. I want to make sure anyone who was feeling like me can know you really aren't alone. It can get better. And most importantly, it isn't your fault. Now, I don't want to sound, I'm going to share some of the information here. I don't want to sound ignorant at all for the comparison I'm about to make, but getting diagnosed is such a great first step in understanding how you can then navigate whatever difficulties or differences you have either in your brain or the rest of your body. We talked a lot about Elizabeth's diagnosis with ADHD and how neurodiversity differs in women versus men. And it's like if you own a car and you don't know what type of car you have and you go to the mechanic and the mechanic's like, I can't help this type of car. I do Toyotas. You need like a German mechanic. You've got an Audi and you're like, oh, I have an Audi. And then you're like, okay, I have an Audi. Now you've been diagnosed with having a car that's an Audi. And now you can go to the right mechanic who knows, oh yeah, I can read the old, car handbook. It's in German. This is what you need. Boom, boom, boom. And then life gets a lot easier. Now imagine going your whole life not realizing you have a German car and you're trying to go to a Toyota mechanic. Does this make sense? I think we're getting the point. So I'm going to read some of what she posts. When you make group photos in an Instagram, it doesn't let you auto crop what you want in them. So some of these posts are missing some of the information. So I'm going to try my best. How people think the spectrum looks. A little quirky, definitely autistic, tragic autistic versus the actual spectrum. Child and adolescent psychology evaluations. Proprioception, sensing body position, dancing, walking on tiptoes, spinning, dyspraxia. Interoception, internal sense, hunger, thirst, feeling, full going to the bathroom, awareness of emotional. So we can see executive functions, hyperfocus, demand avoidance, hygiene, process complexity, autistic inertia, difficulty changing tasks, spins, special interest, intense research, information hunger collections, stims, energy regulation. So not to overwhelm people with all the specifics because it's a little overwhelming to hear. We like to put things in a box. Either someone's autistic or they're not. Either someone has ADD or they don't. One or the other. And it's way more complex and our brains are way more fascinating, and the more science kind of studies, the more they realize we've all got special different traits than others. We know people that are considered HSPs, highly sensitive persons. Now, in old times, maybe when you're, in the hunter-gatherer age, maybe the highly sensitive person was the person that could hear a twig break and know that there's a lion's about to attack. You know what I mean? So the point being is that with different diagnoses, whether neurodiversity or autism or whatever spectrums there are, we're going to keep learning and we're going to keep unpacking and realizing that women have really been let down by the scientific community. I think we already know that with regards to it being easier to find or spot neurodiversity in boys growing up, and then they're getting the help they need, where plenty of women are realizing, I didn't know I had ADHD. Demi Burnett, very successful person in her own right. She goes, I didn't know I had autism. Read a little bit more here. 9 ways to support an autistic person. Explain every stage of what is about to happen. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. Maintain a routine and try to prevent changes last minute. Ask us what support accommodations we need to... sorry, I can't read the rest of that. Educate yourself and learn about autism. And inform yourself about the false stereotypes. Allow us to be ourselves and stim without judgment. Use clear and direct language. Give us extra time to process verbal information. Write important things down. Validate our struggles even if you don't understand them yourselves. Show an interest in our special interests and hyperfixations. We talked about ableism, autistic traits, innate divergence versus autistic trauma. So, if whether you're interested about all this stuff or think that you might have some of these traits, this could be good information for you to read. Go to Demi's Instagram at Demi_not_Lovato. Healing developmental trauma does not make an autistic person more typical. Trauma interventions can increase an autistic person's atypical behaviors as they reconnect with their genetically divergent body-mind. Autistic individuals may need more support after trauma interventions, not less. Autism is a dynamic disability. What this means is capacity and functioning are not concrete and may fluctuate depending on factors such as environment, cognition, executive function, processing capacity, interoception, exteroception, neurofatigue, anxiety, communication differences, burnout, and sensory overwhelm. This means autistics may be capable of a task one day, but unable to perform the task at another. And I think what we're going to learn with there's this whole anti-work movement that's happening, which is the idea like pushing back on the 40-hour work week, pushing back on the soul-sucking corporate landscape that just robs people of their identity and all of that. We're kind of coming into this age of embracing creativity and sort of a freelance culture where people work for themselves now. And I think a lot of people that have either neurodivergent issues or others, or characteristics. We don't want to call them issues. It's just a different blueprint, right? But realize that they don't fit into the peg that is the corporate world or certain jobs. Well, that's important to realize that there is work for you, but knowing that some days are a bad day, some days are a better day. Some days you feel creatively imprisoned because you can't focus on one thing. And understanding all those different things is crucial to not feeling overwhelmed or anxious or feeling like you're a failure because you can't operate in the way that others might operate. And the whole like compare is despair happens with social media where we go, why don't I have the white picket fence? Why can't I do it? It's like, well, because your brain works differently and we need to embrace that and understand that the right coach, the coach being your executive functioning, the right coach will point you in the direction that best use your skills. Right? That's why I love Bill Belichick. I'll make this about a Patriots reference. He'll take someone who's like really athletic, but wouldn't fit into a wide receiver, but also wouldn't fit into tight end. And you go, what do we do with this guy? We will design plays around your talents. And I think when it comes to differences in neurodiversity and autism, finding ways to navigate the world around what you can do versus what you can't do would be something that you can finally address once you've been diagnosed. Again, apologies, not an expert, not a psychologist, not whatever. Undiagnosed autistic kids starter pack. Wow, you're so rude. So, okay, of course, things said to people when they just don't know that their brains are different. Wow, you're so rude. Just eat your food. Stop being picky. Why are you failing this class? I know you're smarter than this. I don't get why you're confused. It's really easy. You need to get out more and talk to people. Stop playing with X so much. Why do you always wear that? Don't you have other clothes? Stop doing that thing. It's really annoying. Why are you always doing that? Just hug him. He's your grandpa. I don't care if you barely know him. Why are you being so weird about it? All right, so stages of autism realization. I have social anxiety. I have sensory issues. I have ADHD. I kind of relate to autistic people. Maybe I'm kind of spectrum-y. OMG, I think I have autism for real. Feel like I'm faking it. Just trying to convince myself it's autism. Don't want to appropriate the term. Don't want to take a space not meant for me. OMG, I'm autistic AF. I know there's people out there relating to this. I have people close to me that go, maybe I'm autistic. And they don't see that. They don't say that to say like, maybe, to say it flippantly, but like, oh shit. Maybe I'm autistic, maybe you start to read the definitions and you go, well, if it looks like it, if it smells like it, if I have ADHD and sensory issues and the TV's too loud and all these things, oh shit, But don't think of it as some sort of shameful thing. Think of it as we're shining light on the darkness, and that's the greatest disinfectant. I feel like I'm saying it more and more these days, but we're all in the same struggle. We're on the same ship of progress. We're just operating different tools and techniques to get us there, and we're all valuable and valid. My communication is going, and again, these are all things Demi's posting, so I don't want to I want to just share Demi's story because I know a lot of you guys don't go on Instagram, but by all means, give her some love on her status update. She's getting a ton of love already, but I'm sure it took a lot of I'm sure it's a big relief for her to discuss this. My communication is going to suck. I can't help this. I feel bad about this. It's painful mentally and emotionally. It may be caused by physical pain. I'm going to retreat into myself. It's not because I'm mad. I often can't pinpoint how I'm feeling in this state. I need support. Give me a glass of water. Be there for me without judgment. Reduce external stimulus and pressures. Believe that I can't help being in this state. I don't like this state. I get intrusive thoughts of suicidal ideation in this state because A, it triggers past traumas of being mistreated for being the way I am. and B, it's painful and I want it to stop. It may take me hours to days to recover from being in this state. My body is dumping adrenaline. It's pushing me past my abilities to regulate myself. It is hell. I just want to be believed. Aspiration at work. I need the neurotypicals to understand this, that noise, light, taste, smell, or feeling isn't bad or painful to you because you are neurotypical, being that you're the most people. The most people think a certain way, aren't afraid, don't have the same stimulus triggers and stuff that someone who has, that's not neurotypical. That task isn't hard for you because you are neurotypical. You do not have certain struggles because you are neurotypical. When neurodivergent people speak or complain or educate, we are not overreacting, seeking attention, or making things up. If you do not listen to us, it is because you refuse to see things from anything but a neurotypical point of view. Eventually, just realize, hey, just because this is the way I see the world doesn't mean that is the way the world is. And I think we're getting there, right? I don't want to just jump too much on this. I think we're getting there. And of course, comments of people just saying, "I'm so proud of you, inside and out. Good for you. Thanks for this. Thanks for that." And we are so happy. And of course, the first photo looks like a young Goldie Hawn, but what a great! I mean, boy, if I posted, it's what's there to say other than Demi? We're proud that you're talking about this journey, and it's going to help a lot of other people as they navigate whatever differences they have. And let's just remind ourselves that differences are what makes us all human. Not that we're all identical, but that we all are just come in different size, shapes, forms, colors. And we need to realize that the one that packaged us, me, isn't any better or worse than you or yours. And that we're all just figuring it out with the tools that we have. And I'm happy that Demi's figuring out what she can use, the tools to navigate life now that she's been diagnosed. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear your comments. If you want to call in, by all means, 401-213-9828. Share your story. Maybe you've been diagnosed, or you've had some late in life realizations that didn't exist beforehand. The best we can do is move forward from where we are today, right, folks? All right, that's probably going to be it from me unless there's any other breaking news, but I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. There's a video that's up right now on the Dave Neal Show if you want to check that out, non-Bachelor related content, and we'll talk to you guys later.